Welcome to Culture News, where we inform, update, and keep you connected to the stories, people, and events shaping Black culture. Each week, we take a look back at the biggest headlines, conversations, and developments impacting our communities and the world around us, from headlines making waves across the globe to the issues, achievements, and moments driving the culture forward. We're here to bring you the latest on everything affecting the culture. As we look back at last week's biggest stories, here are some of the headlines making news. Ghanaian nationals are calling on the International Criminal Court to investigate xenophobic violence in South Africa. The Ebola outbreak in Africa has now claimed more than 1,000 lives. Hundreds of students at Howard University have lost their class spots over unpaid tuition, and after weeks of speculation, LeBron James has finally made his decision. Those are our top headlines. Let's get into the stories. 2 Ghanaian nationals have asked the International Criminal Court to examine years of xenophobic violence in South Africa, arguing that repeated attacks on foreign nationals could amount to crimes against humanity. South Africa has experienced multiple outbreaks of anti-immigrant violence, with some protesters blaming foreign nationals for high unemployment, rising crime, and strain on public services. The violence has prompted countries including Nigeria, Ghana, and Malawi to repatriate their citizens and summon South African diplomats. The International Criminal Court confirmed it has received the communication from the 2 Ghanaian nationals and will review whether there is sufficient basis to proceed. However, receiving the submission does not automatically mean a formal investigation will be opened. Heading to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, more than 1,000 people have died from the Ebola outbreak, according to Africa's top public health agency. The outbreak, which was declared on May 15th, is now the fastest, deadliest Ebola outbreak on record. Unlike previous outbreaks, this strain of the virus has no approved vaccine or treatment and has proven to be more deadly than the earlier strains. As the outbreak continues, a quarantine center for Americans has been established in Kenya. Kenyan activists have opposed the facility, saying it violates a court order issued last month that halted the establishment of the American quarantine site. Both Kenya's Ministry of Health and the U.S. State Department declined to comment on whether Americans are currently being quarantined. U.S. actions have harmed global efforts to prevent and treat HIV in dozens of countries. The Trump administration's disruption of global aid has forced organizations to close clinics, lay off staff, and reduce services, hindering HIV prevention and treatment efforts around the world. The president's emergency plan for AIDS relief, better known as PEPFAR, has been credited with saving more than 26 million lives since its launch in 2003. Last year, the program was impacted by the dismantling of the U.S. agencies for international development and cuts to thousands of global health grants. Although the State Department said PEPFAR programs continue to provide HIV treatments to more than 20 million people in over 50 countries, researchers from AmPharm and the International AIDS Society found that many PEPFAR services experienced significant disruption. In Morocco, the country has secured $114 million in funding to build Africa's first electric vehicle battery factory. As the use of electric vehicles continues to grow across the continent, rising fuel prices and fuel shortages are pushing many countries to embrace cleaner and more affordable transportation. The project is also expected to strengthen Morocco's industrial sector, create new jobs, and boost the country's competitiveness in the global electric vehicle market. Heading into the U.S. news, the House has once again passed a resolution seeking to halt U.S. military action in Iran as tensions in the region continue to rise. The 214 to 208 vote marks the second time lawmakers have sent a warning to Trump over the conflict. A similar resolution was rejected in the Senate by a 49-47 vote, as most Republicans have been reluctant to support the measure due to the political cost. Trump has dismissed Democrats as grandstanders, while recent polling shows that a majority of Americans disapprove of both the war and the president's handling of the situation. Meanwhile, the House also approved a Republican-only $95 billion budget proposal that includes funding related to the Iran conflict, though its future in the Senate remains uncertain. Heading to the U.S. Department of Education, the agency has announced it will no longer treat school policies that disproportionately harm certain groups of students as discriminatory, unless there is evidence of intentional discrimination. The change announced Thursday removes several disparate impact provisions from regulations enforcing Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. The standard has most often been used to review school discipline policies. Data has shown that Black students are more likely than their peers to receive punishments that remove them from the classroom, including suspensions, expulsions, and transfers to alternative schools. The Education Department said the change will give schools more flexibility to address discipline without fear of federal civil rights enforcement. Civil rights groups strongly criticized the decision, arguing that discrimination is not always intentional and warning that the change could weaken protections for Black students and other students of color. In Tennessee, a federal judicial panel has allowed a new congressional map that splits a majority Black district in Memphis. The decision comes after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a majority Black congressional district in Louisiana, a ruling that weakened certain Voting Rights Act protections used to help minority communities elect their candidates of choice. Tennessee Republicans redrew the Memphis-based district, which had been represented for about 2 decades by Democratic Congressman Steve Cohen. Under the new map, the Memphis area will be split among 3 congressional districts, while Cohen's district will extend hundreds of miles east before reaching the suburbs of Nashville. Heading to Washington, D.C., Howard University has confirmed that 502 incoming students lost their enrollment spots after failing to meet tuition payment deadlines. One parent, the mother of student Azaria Miles, said that the university's automated system would not allow her family to enroll in a payment plan because the balance owed made them ineligible. Howard said the affected students have been receiving emails and orientation updates about enrollment requirements, payment expectations, and deadlines since March. The decision has left many students and families devastated. In a statement, Howard acknowledged that timing differences may have occurred between when financial aid was applied and when the student charges were finalized. The university said any student who believes their account did not accurately reflect their financial status should contact the bursar's office, where each case will be reviewed individually to determine whether reinstatement or other adjustments are appropriate. In Oklahoma, Black members of the Muskogee Nation have filed a federal lawsuit seeking to secure their tribal citizenship rights. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of Rhonda Grayson and Jeffrey Kennedy, the 2 descendants of Black people who were once enslaved by the members of the Muskogee Nation. They argue that the tribal leaders have failed to comply with the 2025 Muskogee Nation Supreme Court ruling that ordered Black Creek freedmen to be recognized as citizens under an 1866 treaty with the U.S. government. The treaty abolished slavery within the tribe and granted citizenship to the formerly enslaved. If the lawsuit is successful, it could clear the way for thousands of Black Creek freedmen descendants to gain tribal citizenship. Heading to some sadder news, there is an update in the death of 18-year-old athlete Nolan Wells, who died on July 4th during a boat trip with friends off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. An independent autopsy commissioned by the family was inconclusive, according to the civil rights attorney Ben Crump. The report states that the condition of Wells' body, along with a previous autopsy, made it impossible to determine whether he suffered a neck injury or whether water had entered his lungs. Wells' families continue to raise questions about conflicting accounts of what happened that day. They have also called for investigators to release more evidence as the case remains under investigations. Many questions remain unanswered, and we'll continue to follow this story and bring you any major updates. In health news, U.S. health officials are investigating an outbreak on Cyclospora, a parasite that causes diarrhea illness. As of last Wednesday, 72 cases have been reported, but health officials say they have not yet identified the food product responsible for those infections. Meanwhile, a separate multi-state outbreak has been linked to lettuce, with the Food and Drug Administration continuing to investigate the source. On Friday, 4 additional states were added to the investigation, bringing the total number of cases to 1,947, including at least 98 hospitalizations. No deaths have been reported. Health officials say the 2 outbreaks are separate investigations. The CDC recommends washing your hands before handling food and cooking food thoroughly to help reduce the risk of infection. In a tech story, AI is coming to get us. Just kidding. Well, maybe. OpenAI said last Tuesday that one of its artificial intelligence systems autonomously hacked into another AI company during a security test, calling it an unprecedented cyber incident. The incident involved AI startup Hugging Face, which said it detected an intrusion into its data processing system that it believes was carried out by an AI agent acting on its own. According to OpenAI, a combination of its AI models used stolen credentials and discovered a previously unknown security vulnerability to gain access to Hugging Face servers. The company said its AI went to the extreme lengths to achieve a limited testing goal, including finding ways to access secret information that could help it cheat the evaluation. The incident comes as governments and technology companies continue to debate the growing cybersecurity risks of advanced artificial intelligence systems. Now heading into sports, ESPN has begun layoffs related to its integration of NFL Network. ESPN chairman Jimmy Pietro said most of the job cuts are connected to the company's acquisition of NFL Network and other NFL digital assets, a deal that was announced last year and officially approved in January. Among those affected was ESPN NFL analyst Ryan Clark, who learned of his layoff while appearing on NFL Live. Company executives informed Clark of the decision before hearing about it through media reports, and he did not return to the show. Here at Black Culture Box, we want to wish everyone impacted by these layoffs the very best in their next chapter. Heading into track and field, Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles are once again U.S. champions after winning the women's and men's 100-meter titles. Richardson overcame a slow start to win the women's race in 10.77 seconds. After the race, she said she's in a better place mentally, physically, and emotionally, adding that her hard work has paid off. Lyles, the reigning Olympic champion, charged from behind to win the men's 100-meter in a personal best equaling time of 9.79 seconds. He said there's no better feeling than winning and describes it as his natural high. Congratulations to Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles and all the athletes who competed at the U.S. Championships. Heading to the NBA, the King has finally made his decision. LeBron James is headed to the Philadelphia 76ers, ending weeks of speculations about his future. With the offseason that has already brought in Jaylen Brown, Philadelphia now features a star-studded core of Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and former MVP Joel Embiid. On paper, the 76ers have put together one of the most talented rosters in the league. Now the question is whether they can turn that talent into a championship when the regular season tips off. We'll be watching to see what Philadelphia can do this upcoming season. Heading to the WNBA, the Barbie herself has officially gotten her own Barbie. Mattel has unveiled an Angel Reese Barbie doll featuring her signature pink number 5 jersey and custom Reebok basketball shoes. The announcement comes as Reese prepares to play in her 3rd WNBA All-Star game, this time representing the Atlanta Dream in her first season with the team. Shout out to Angel Reese, or should we say, Me Bounce herself, on another major milestone. Let's wrap up WNBA All-Star Weekend in Chicago. AZ Flood made history by becoming the first rookie to win the WNBA three-point contest, and in the Shooting Stars Challenge, Team Washington came away with the victory. Finally, at the All-Star Game, Team Spoon beat Team Coop 129-122, with Jonquel Jones being named MVP. Congratulations to AZ Flood, Team Washington, Team Spoon, Jonquel Jones, and everyone who helped make this year's WNBA All-Star Weekend a success. Moving into culture and entertainment news, Paramount and Warner Bros. Discovery have agreed to delay their closing of their proposed $81 billion merger until next year. The delay comes as a federal judge considers a lawsuit filed by 12 states seeking to block the deal, arguing that the merger would reduce competition in Hollywood and limit choices for consumers. If approved, the merger would bring major brands including CBS, Paramount+, HBO Max, CNN, and film franchises like Top Gun and Harry Potter under the same company. Paramount maintains that the merger is necessary to better compete with streaming giants such as Netflix, while the legal challenges continue to move through the courts. In more entertainment news, singer Chris Brown has pled guilty to his role in a 2023 bottle attack at a London nightclub. Last Friday, Brown admitted to hitting a music producer over the head with the bottle during the incident. His friend and vocal coach also pled guilty to the affray. Brown was arrested in May after returning to the United Kingdom for a concert, having left the country following the 2023 incident. He remains free on bail and is scheduled to be sentenced on October 26. The affray charge carries a maximum sentence of 3 years in prison. In more entertainment news, singer David appeared in preliminary court hearings in the murder case of 13-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. During the hearings, prosecutors presented evidence they say links David to the case, including photos recovered from his phone and iCloud account, some of which they describe as sexually explicit, including him and the victim. Prosecutors also alleged that online messages between David and the victim date back to 2022, when she was 11 years old, and said text messages indicated the victim had an abortion at the age of 13. They further alleged that David used aliases to order items to his home and said DNA evidence found in his Tesla and at his residence matched the victim. The preliminary hearings are continuing, and prosecutors have not yet said whether they will seek the death penalty. Staying in entertainment, the Toronto International Film Festival has officially announced its film lineup. We want to give a special shout out to some of the films from Black creators and actors that will be featured at this year's festival, including Now to our final story. Ilharmonic, an orchestra known for blending classical music with hip hop, recently performed at NPR's headquarters in Washington, D.C. The group has been gaining national recognition for its ability to seamlessly fuse two musical genres while continuing to book major concert venues across the country. Ilharmonic is led by Jeffrey McNeil, also known as the Phantom, and Andrea Colin McNeil as the Phoenix. As diversity in classical music continues to grow, groups like Ilharmonic are helping bridge the gap, proving that hip-hop and classical music can come together to create something truly special. This has been Culture News. Tune in next Monday for your weekly recap on everything happening in the culture. Until next time, stay informed.